Ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, we are back. Season 2, Episode 2 of Beyond the DJ Booth podcast. What's up, Brian B?
What's up? Happy New Year. Feels
Yeah.
weird a little saying that
It
because
feels weird.
Why?
It is coming out, right. A little pre-record here, a little batch content session.
Yeah.
Somebody's
Yeah.
blowing me up. I got to send that to silence. Yeah. All right. So anyway, yeah, man, batch content session, but it will come out early January. And what'd you think about season 1? I guess that was that would be my first question. Your true assessment as somebody that basically goes back and listens to all the episodes, cleans up the ums, the ahs, the awkwardness of it. And yeah, what's your assessment of season 1 Beyond the DJ Booth podcast? How do you feel?
I give it a good solid B+. And I don't feel like I'm being
Too generous with yourself?
No, because I mean, it takes a while for like what I've noticed when you're doing a duo podcast.
Yeah.
There's chemistry of knowing
Sure.
when people stop talking, not talking over someone. We had some moments like that, but for the most part, I felt like it was super organic. Like we didn't really have to fake the funk, as they say.
What's been your feedback from the masses? Like just people either DMing you or messaging you or emailing you or whatever.
The constant thing is wish they were longer.
Yeah, I got that. I got that a lot too. I got a lot of. We wish it was longer. Don't feel like you guys have to cut straight to the business part or straight to the meat. Like they like the bullshit back and forth. You know what I mean?
It's like playing a show, right? You kind of don't want them to take them all the way to the edge where it's like, hey, we want you to stop now. You do want them to kind of want more. That's the whole
100%.
point of, that's to me a sign of a great show.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of, and I think you probably do it in a year span more often than I do, which is playing like what I would consider a long dance set.
Yeah.
At a private event. And to me, long would be 3+ hours. We did it Saturday, 7:30 to 10:30 at this past wedding. And it's exactly what you're saying. Like there has to be like an ebb and flow. Or I love that term you use all the time where you're like, I use it to reset the room. I love that. Like whenever you say that. And I kind of was thinking about that as I was playing this past Saturday. I was like, yeah, dude, I gotta reset the room, you know, because you could either see like I had gone, you know, there was too many like 128 BPM type songs or something. I was like, all right, I'm just going to kind of hard stop, echo out of this, and then drop back to like 78 for a little.
Yeah.
And I even played, and this is when I knew I was like, I feel like I'm firmly in control to be able to drop this All I Want for Christmas Is You, Mariah remix from Scooter.
Wow.
I played like a verse and a chorus of it, but it kind of went over. I mean, we're, 16 days from Christmas.
Yeah.
Might as well.
Right. No, I had a similar situation where the room needed a reset.
Yeah.
And this wedding I just did this past weekend, the names were odd. Ashlyn, which isn't, I don't hear that name very often.
Yeah.
And the groom, a total Southern name, Win.
Yeah.
Winn.
Okay. Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And one of the things I haven't done a whole lot, and I'm going to start doing
This
it
was
more.
in Florida?
In Florida.
Okay.
And I like to look for songs that have the name of the couple in there.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
And so I'm surprised this one didn't get in there, but it kind of came to me as I'm in the middle of the night. I'm like, I need to reset this. We've been kind of, going hardcore for a bit.
Yeah.
So I literally like stopped the music and said, and Win was super like, just introverted, not really wanting to, didn't want the spotlight on him. Him and his mom's dance was like, to your point, you've been saying
60 seconds.
Yeah. At the most.
Right. Yeah.
But everybody loves the guy. Like you could just tell everybody loved him. And so I go, hey, I was thinking about what to play for Win tonight. And I'm like, I can't think of a better song. And I dropped All I Do Is Win.
Right.
They went nuts.
Mental.
And it wasn't even really, I think it may have been on their list, but it wasn't like something that was like must play or anything like that. But I'm like, how do you not drop that for this dude? And they loved it. But it was like a room reset moment for me of using a song that
what was that song that it's not very old? It's like win. You remember that song? It's a hip hop song. I was going through all my music last night trying to find like forgotten bangers.
Yeah.
Me and you were working on that list last week. I'll send you that. Okay. If you ever do another wedding with Win, it was like, you could even have just played the chorus, but it was like, win. win, 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 win. Now I can't forget.
Did you play it at? Because you just did that.
No. I just happened to be kind of scrolling through my library last night, and it came up.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Interesting.
I do love All I Do Is Win, though. As a room reset, and especially that Fuse edit I have with the We Are the Champions at the beginning.
Oh, I haven't heard that.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to listen to that.
It works really well.
All right.
Because you can kind of mix into it that we are the champion. We no time for loser. And then it goes bureau. All I do is
okay. Okay.
And people think you're doing it.
Yeah.
You're a hero. I posted a reel the other day, and this girl's like, "Yeah, you're killing it." I'm like, "No, that was Fuse made that. Fuse made that." Anyway,
so when this drops,
yes,
it's either going to be on the Wednesday, which is January 1st, or the day before, or 2 days before, whenever we decide to do it. But thinking of start of a new year. What's like something in the bun business that you guys like something that you always do to start your year off?
Yeah.
Like in the business. And maybe, this last year was an interesting year. I don't know if you felt it, but we were off a little bit on our numbers.
Sure.
So is there anything you're tweaking to kind of make up for what happened last year to change it up just a little bit? Is there anything? So what's a consistent thing you do every year? And what's one new thing you're going to try?
The consistent thing is some sort of it's not necessarily business related. It's almost more just like mental health reorganization. Okay. So like I might come in here and just like change around the whole office.
Wow.
And like clean out.
Decor and everything.
Or not to the point where I'm like moving everything out, but maybe rearrange, I guess. And then clean out like the files from 2024, make new, folders for 2025, which has gotten to be less and less over the years, obviously, as the digital age has trickled in. Like clean the office, almost like spring cleaning. Okay. If that makes sense.
Yeah. And is that like a January 1 thing or first Monday?
It's just early, or when people go back to work, which is, let's call it like the 6th of January, probably.
Right.
It would be around then.
Okay.
And just to kind of reset the year. Business-wise, not characteristically, but I am doing so this year. You and I were talking about it a little bit ago. Definitely adding some, I don't want to call them enhancements, but definitely adding some other services.
Got it.
Including cold sparks and a small AV rig.
Right.
For a venue around the corner. Almost exclusively for this venue.
Right.
They have so much business that is not being taken care of properly. And the bigger AV companies here won't touch it. So if I kind of come in that $1,000 to $2,000 for like a screen, projector, one mic, maybe a podium,
right?
I'll be a hero.
Got
and
it.
It's weekday money.
Yeah.
They have weddings Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Right.
So Saquon could go out and do it. I could go out and do it. Randy could go out and do it.
Yeah.
You sit on it for a few hours, make sure that, their presentation's working. Boom. And I guarantee it could be an extra $20,000 to $40,000. That's how many corporate events they're doing a year.
That's interesting.
That's what I've kind of calculated. And I'll have 10,000 in it.
Right.
In the gear.
Right.
Again, I don't want to really carry it all over Raleigh.
Sure.
I don't want to get into, video walls and line arrays or anything where I have to get on a ladder or or scaffolding or a lift.
Right.
Like it's very, very basic. The whole room is 60 by 40.
Now you mentioned Cold Sparks as an enhancement. Last year, I would say the one you brought in was those audio books.
I did.
Did those do well?
I would give it a C.
So you made your money back.
Oh, I made the money back on the first time they went out.
Okay.
Yeah. 100%. Even paying Randy to kind of edit the file down.
Sure.
We did, to be fair, run it on Black Friday and did really well with it. So we probably sold another 10 over Black Friday. And instead of $350, I think we asked for $200.
Okay.
So again, I think they cost $200.
Right.
You have an hour in cleaning up the file, and that's about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So is there a ton of money in it? No. But I mean, it's worth having 2 or 3 of them.
Sure.
They just sit in that closet right there beside you. They have a little, table tent that goes beside them, and that's all we do.
So with the Cold Sparks, you have a goal in mind with like what would be a success with that one?
Man, I'm going to start with 4. And I think that a lot of places here are going to say it's not allowed indoors, if I had to guess. And I'm going to just do them for the exit and probably do $400 a can, so
Mm.
$800 for an exit for 2 of them, or if you want 4, you can get
Right.
4. You know what I mean?
Now, does that mean bringing another staff person? How does that work?
100%.
Okay.
This is where I failed the first time. There was 2 reasons that this failed the first time out the gate.
I didn't know you got it before.
I did.
Okay.
I had 4 before. One reason was bad. They were bad. They were just not a good brand. They were
Right.
super cheap, not good. Couldn't keep them running. So
Yeah.
that was problem 1. Problem 2 was I was tasking the DJ with doing it.
Okay.
And tasking the DJ, there's just too much.
Right.
My guys don't have an assistant.
Right.
When Saquon and I did it, he could do it. I'd
Right.
say, 15 minutes before the last song, I'd say, go heat
Head
him
over
up
there.
and let's get this going. Now, as you know, I'm a both lighting fanatic. Everything I have now, all my lights are both lighting. My cold sparks are going to be both lighting. And I'm going to buy the battery packs to go with these cold sparks.
Right.
So I don't have to be out there, in the middle of the night running cables, looking for power, this, that, and the other. I saw them run this past week at an event that I was a guest at, and they're a little bigger than a cold spark. Looks like a little platform. One cable, boom. You charge up the base, put the can on top, hit the remote. All 4 of them went off. Yeah, I walked over, picked the whole thing up, walked right out.
Wow.
While the party was still going on, nobody even noticed he came through.
You're kidding.
No cables, no tape, no gaff. And is it going to double the cost of the investment? Probably.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, it's going to be well worth it.
Sure.
I'll be the guinea pig on this, but
Yeah.
I'm confident.
All right.
What about you? What's going on with you? What's going on with your reset of 2025 Brian B policies?
So I actually like to do it a couple days before January 1st.
Okay. I know that awkwardness between the 25th of December and January 1, where nobody's doing jack shit.
Right.
Brian B's getting after it.
Well, I just know at that point where I'm going to land for the year.
Yeah.
So I'm usually doing like a lot of recon on what the last year was, like who sent me the most leads, who booked me the most, what was the average ticket, like some of those like metrics that you probably should be checking regularly that I'm not.
Yeah.
But that I needed to do for like a year-end assessment because I know that I'm not going to get any more shows between that 26th and the 31st, more than likely. I mean, it's really rare.
Right.
So I like to just kind of have a thought of how do I adjust after I've seen those metrics to the next year if I need to follow up with a couple planners or venues that I didn't get a whole lot in. So I like to look at those then rather than waiting 3 weeks later, finally looking at it and then going, oh man, I made the wrong decision going into the next year.
Wrong game plan. Yeah.
I'm kind of doing that ahead of the year to start.
I like that.
And then something new. I don't think it's new. I just have been a little lax on like making new relationships. I've been hanging on to the old ones. And so I really want to kind of go after a couple of new venues, new planners, just start to kind of increase the fold a bit and not be reliant on same old. Not that they're bad.
Right.
Just
I think that I'm a victim of that too. Right. And we both are, right? I mean, because you get comfortable, you get in a clique,
right?
Especially you with Engage, like you just know those people, the people you want to be around. But there's a new batch of people that always come and engage.
Always.
Tonight, I'm playing, in a few hours for the NACE holiday party. Like, I need to make it my goal those first couple hours when people aren't dancing to go around and talk to some of these newer people.
Right.
Because there's a whole group of 25 to 32-year-olds that are entering this business in this new chapter.
Right.
I don't really know them.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I need to do better in just assuming, shit, I'm Joe Bun, everybody knows me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's a shitty attitude.
Totally.
And to be fair, it's why I play the party.
Right.
Like, this party went off last year. I killed this thing last year. And I intentionally killed it. So there are, at the very least, if I don't get to talk to them, they'll be like, well, that dude still got it.
Right.
He torched that. that Merriman Wynn thing, the 10-year anniversary party. Friday night, I was a guest for the first part. They had a band.
Yeah.
Me and Saquon set up a second system, for the nighttime, the 11 to 1 late night.
Right.
And I mean, I intentionally went in there with the goal of like, I'm going to smash this 150-year-old house is going to be barely standing. And we just went after it and played it like somebody that was not a wedding DJ.
Right.
Like, I intentionally was like, man, these people hear the same shit every weekend.
Yes. Yeah.
The September and the blah, blah, blah. And I was like, let's play it like different.
Mm-hmm.
And so both of these parties I look at it, I got $0 out of it.
Right.
But it's a showcase.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
You do any things like that?
Oh yeah, all the
Yeah,
time.
right.
Yeah,
You do-
I try to do that. That's like the only way that
Right.
I'll usually be a part of a networking thing is if I can do something that would showcase more than just playing background music. I mean, I don't. I'm
I
not
know
a-
you do it at Engage like regularly.
Yeah.
I mean,
I got it
especially
coming
there.
up.
Yeah.
I'm going in next week, and that's like I'm not scheduled to do any of the main parties. They
Excuse
have an agency doing that, but
Yeah.
you better believe I'm going to be doing some kind of underground
Yeah.
after party at some
Yeah, like
point.
a suite or something
Yeah,
like that.
absolutely. It's the best investment you can make, man.
100%, man. I mean, I think that a lot of people know you kind of from that chapter of Engage where
Yeah.
you're like, okay, well, the this party's over, but the Brian B. Late Night is in Suite 225.
Totally.
And just get after it.
Yeah.
I mean, you made a name for yourself doing that. And again,
Yeah.
doing the networking,
Sure.
playing the music for the walk-ups and the,
Right.
the walk-offs, the walk-ups, emceeing, ladies and gentlemen, presenting,
Sure.
blah, blah, blah. Like,
Sure.
all that stuff just, it goes a long, long way because I think so many people do it poorly
Yeah.
when a planner or a producer of a show sees somebody do it well.
Right.
It's 10 business opportunities fly right there in your face.
1,000%. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Anyway. What are we getting? What are we talking? Question today?
Let's do it. Yeah,
Are
I
we
think
still doing the same format?
I think
Season
so.
2? Okay.
And this is a good one because it kind of leads
It is
into the
good.
next year.
Yeah,
right?
it does. It's a great question. You know Billy Rears? He's
I
cool.
know him. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a cool cat. He's a barber too.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
I did not
He
know
can
that.
fade you up.
Okay.
He can fade you up.
Okay.
I got
New-
nothing to fade up.
He's in New Hampshire, right?
Yeah. I think
Okay.
so. Yeah,
All
New
right.
Hampshire.
Oh, yeah.
So he goes, what upcoming conferences are you looking into attending? And what are the options out there? First off, before we get into this, I will say I think that I'm going to just give my personal opinion. I think that there's too many things now.
Really?
Yeah, man. It's a
Because there
lot.
used to be how many?
Let's call it 2.
Yeah.
It was Mobile Beat, which is now Mex,
Yeah.
and it was DJ Times,
yeah.
which is now DJX.
Yeah.
So you had one on one coast at the beginning of the year, and you had the other
That's
on
true.
the other coast at the, let's call it the end of summer.
Mm-hmm.
Those were the ones you needed to be at.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's a little out of hand right now.
There's a lot. So everyone's you think that they're all chopping the pie then, pretty much, or
I
are you
think
saying that?
Pie is just chopped up. I think it is. I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, I'm looking. We have a graphic that we're getting ready to put up of just what I did off the top of my dome this morning when you and I were talking about show prep.
Yeah.
Now, to be completely fair, I didn't go deep dive down the rabbit hole. So if I miss somebody, please don't jump in my inbox and shit on me. I did this off the top of my head of what I've seen come up across my feed or the things that I've personally been to over the last 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
So if I missed yours, I apologize. But I mean, yeah, man, I do think so. I think there's a lot, and we're not even mentioning LDI, which is like a lighting thing. I think that's going on right now in Las Vegas. There was
Special
another one.
event.
The special event.
Yeah.
You got the NACE National Conference.
Right.
That's not the same thing as the special
No.
event, is it? You got 4 to 6 Engage conferences that you could go to.
Right.
There's some big Orlando wedding conference I saw
Right.
that Kristen Hubbard and another friend of mine here are
It's
speaking
brand
at.
new. Yeah.
Yeah, it's brand new, but they both were singing the praises of it. Like, oh, this is going to be
Yeah.
the new East Coast wedding MBA. Like,
Right.
So I'm not even mentioning 5 things right there,
Right.
off the top of my I just think people don't know where to go, don't know where to spend their money. So
Right.
hopefully this list will help a little bit.
Yeah.
For somebody that's like Billy, that's basically a private event DJ, whether you're multi-op, single op, whatever.
Sure. Well, you want to go through them a little bit? Maybe
Yeah.
talk about the bents of each.
Sure. You got that
'Cause-
slide up there? There you go, Saquon. Thank you.
I think that what you have to do as a show producer in these is really separate yourself as to like what you're known for. Because if it's all the same, then you are cutting the pie and just chopping it up. If you are able to kind of say, this is what we're going to tackle, maybe like as an example, DJX is known for their show floor. There's hands down out of all of them, that's probably their
Great show
calling card, I would say.
Okay.
they have, not that their education is
No,
not
yeah.
there, but that's what, like, if you're going to go get gear and see a show floor,
Sure.
and I don't want to go out of order here, but like, I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like, that's something in there.
I see what you're saying. What is your
Harvest-
differentiator? Why do I want you to spend $350 and come here,
Right.
or whatever it is?
Right.
So talk about this first one, because you and I don't know anything about this Pittsburgh DJ
Yeah.
Summit. We know some people involved,
Right.
particularly, and I don't know what she's got to do with it, but Jess McKelvey, DJ Jess.
Yeah.
Who else? Bill Jacob, I think he's
yep.
part of it.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what's going on. And I've seen some people that are A, either going, or B, speaking.
Right.
So, and they were, well-known names.
Well, Digital Dave's the keynote.
Okay.
At this particular one.
Yeah.
I think Pittsburgh is one of those like untapped markets with really great talent.
Okay.
I mean, ADMC is there.
That's
You
a
know
great
that,
point.
right?
Solid
Like,
point. Scooter was there forever.
Yeah. Was it in Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know he was. Interesting. They
Wasn't he?
I might be
No, Philadelphia.
Philly. Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
sorry.
But still, Pittsburgh's like got a good scene.
Yeah.
And I think those, Digital Dave's helped build that.
Right.
ADMC's helped build that and kind
Right.
of put them on the map. But
Sorry. Yeah.
it's a good city,
yeah.
and they deserve to kind of get their flowers. I don't know too much about this one either. It started last year. It was
Okay.
the first year.
Okay.
Mike Walter spoke there last year, I
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah.
And I don't know the format, have no idea.
Yeah.
But it looks like a boutique show. I
Yeah.
think more and more kind of going towards that.
Would you categorize boutique like 50 to 100 people?
Yeah.
Right. Me too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally. But I mean, why would you go to something like this if you're in the area and you're looking for education? You don't got to go far.
Sure.
You just drive up there to
Spend a couple
Pittsburgh.
days there and learn. There's no way you're going to leave there and not learn something.
Right.
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 That's the way I feel about any conference. If I leave with just something, even if it's like a new way to set up a piece of gear or a new piece of gear or
Right.
just like whatever, just some little thing that somebody did for wedding planners that just popped off. Like if I can leave with one thing that I'm not doing that I can easily implement, I'm like, this is a win.
Right.
Win, 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 win.
Right.
NAMM again is January 21st through the 25th. It's in Anaheim in California. I mean, I wouldn't say this is a DJ thing either. It's
Yeah.
it's like National Association of
Music merchants.
Music Merchants. Right.
Yeah. In fact, you can't even really buy a pass that I don't think you.
I
think,
don't know that you can either. Like I get my pass from EV.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah. You got to be a store.
if you really want to go, you can definitely reach out to like your local, whoever you buy gear from, NLFX, AGI,
Right.
whoever, and they'll probably hook you up.
Sure.
Have
Have you been?
I have been once. Have
Yeah.
you?
Oh, many
It's
times.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I definitely haven't been many times, but it was because you lived in California. So
I did.
assume
I worked
you-
for Pioneer,
Yeah,
so I was
that's
working the
right.
booths.
That's right.
And I mean, if you ever walk it, it's days.
it's
It
unreal.
takes days to get through it.
It
all.
is unbelievable
Right.
how much gear. I mean, drums, keyboards, organs, DJ gear. I mean, it's.
Right.
But the networking again is great. If you are a content creator and you want to, meet somebody from Shure and say, "Hey, man, I love your microphones. I want to shoot videos for you." That guy is probably going to be there. Or
Right.
That girl's going to be there.
a lot of celebs come who are
Definitely.
musicians.
A
and-
lot of like high profile like scratch DJs are
Right.
there.
Right.
In the booth, scratching it up. I mean, you can meet them, take a picture with them. I mean, I've seen Stevie Wonder there, John Mayer. I mean, anybody
Right.
who's anybody comes through usually.
The one thing you can't do at this show is buy gear off
That's
the
right.
floor. So
That's
it's
right.
literally display only.
Most of it is not even out yet. Like I know
Right.
the stuff EV's showing will be out like in March or April. So they're
Yeah.
showing it.
Yes.
The
Showcasing.
retailers are ordering it, and then you're buying it from the retailers.
Right.
That's the way it works.
Right.
Basically.
Right.
I'll be there. I am going to that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see Pierce while I'm out there.
Yeah.
Might hit Disneyland, a little
Okay.
sightsee. I've never been to Disneyland.
Okay.
I've been to Disney World
Yeah.
a million times.
Yeah.
Do you know the next one?
That's our thing.
That's
right?
our thing.
This is the recharge, which is a little bit different a take than the main conference. right?
Hold on, Tio. Low key, did you kind of miss the big conference in November? I mean, not the work,
No, I
but
did.
just that
Yeah.
feeling of, damn, we just put on like an awesome.
Well, especially
conference.
like everything coming up in your memories.
in the memories. That's
I'm
what I
just
kept
like,
thinking about. I'm
Oh
like,
man, I forgot how good that Atlanta one was.
it was really good, man.
like just out of the box thinking. I don't know.
every-
I might be a little too biased. Being
No,
in the
I
midst
know
of
I'm
it.
right. We're super close to it. We put a lot of work and money and time and passion into it. But damn, dude, like when I see those pictures come up, I'm like, nobody's ever done this. Nobody may ever do it again.
Right.
We really, We killed that shit.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm
it's great.
super. It's one of the most proud things that I've done
Right.
as a DJ.
Yeah. No, I
Or
agree.
as an adult, really, as a business person.
It stretched us more than you know. I don't.
It did.
Anybody, by the way, anybody who's doing these shows, they don't get the love that they should because it's a lot of work.
Just go to the shows, people,
Yeah.
because these people
Support.
spend a lot of money. They're putting out a lot of risk, and they're probably not making a lot of money.
No,
And hopefully they're in it for the right reasons, which we were.
for sure.
Listen, I'm not going to sit here and say we didn't want to make some money. We did want to make money, but at the end of the day, we wanted to put on a killer conference,
The best that we
for
could do,
DJs,
right?
for the best we could do with the money we had.
Right.
Charge a premium price, bring in the best talent, the best speakers, pay the talent, pay the speakers. Have it in the best hotels, the best venues, and I feel like we did that, man. It's just it is very hard to keep it going.
Totally, especially in this environment.
It's tough
when
man.
you've got 15 shows. I know I'm exaggerating here, but like a lot of shows,
You're
a lot
not
of
far
options.
off because we're forgetting some stuff.
Well, and there's also workshops, right?
Sure,
There's all
that's
kinds
right.
of things that are out there.
Absolutely,
for
you
people
got
to learn.
the Marbecca things, the this guy, that guy,
the entertainment experience,
Bill Herman,
yeah.
and I mean,
all
like,
of it.
anyway.
So talk a little bit about the recharge. What makes this one different from November? What's this? How does this stack up? Not necessarily quality wise, but just the difference in what it's aimed for.
I think
it's the most unique one out of the set.
It is. It is because it is kind of more of a workshop than it is a conference. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you, me, and Jan and I are doing, let's call it 70% of the talking.
Right.
We've brought in some special guests to hit the high levels of stuff that we're not super familiar with.
Right.
And I think like any DJ collective, whether there's 150 people there or 50 people there, it is all about what happens outside of those education moments.
Sure.
I mean, you and I were talking about how often somebody sends us a picture of them with somebody that they had no business meeting in this world, that they met at the collective. And this guy sorry, a dog just started barking outside the office. This guy that is in Idaho brought in this guy from California because he needed what was to be considered a sharpshooter on this event.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or this guy in Florida brought in this guy from whatever.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh to play a show because they met at the DJ Collective or they heard, they started knowing about each other, whatever. I mean, it blows my mind.
Right.
And I know Engage kind of started that hashtag was like because of Engage or whatever, but like we could have a hashtag because of DJC.
Oh, 1,000%.
It would pop off.
I think this one's interesting though because one, the three of us aren't ever at the same shows usually speaking.
That's true.
So to pull us to be able to sit on stools essentially and talk about things that are like this is like stripped down to me. It's kind of like a acoustic show.
Yeah,
so to
yeah.
speak,
Like,
right? Like we're pulling back the curtain, ask us anything, and
it's definitely an AMA. Ask me anything kind of scene.
1,000%.
Whether you catch me sitting up there in front of the crowd or you just catch me at the bar and
Right.
And how do you really do this?
Yeah, and you can't do that with 300 people or whatever. This definitely, I think we're capping this at 50 people. This is kind of one of those really boutique.
At DJX or Mex or anything like that, I'm lucky to get 2 seconds to myself.
Right.
It's just there's so many moving parts and people there.
Yeah,
tough.
And the fact that it's in Arizona always is a plus in February.
I guarantee it'll
pool.
be 75 degrees, 80 degrees.
I'm ready.
I'm in. All right. Mex, Mobile Entertainment Experience.
This is
or
what
Expo?
Mobile Beat was.
Correct.
Now it's paired with the PBX show, which
That's
is
correct.
the Photo Booth
Photo
show.
Booth Expo. Yeah.
Which combined, it's the biggest show when you put PBX with Mex
I think you're
together.
right.
As far as like DJ shows, I mean, NAMM's definitely in its own
no,
category.
right. That doesn't count. Yeah.
But in this context,
I would think there's going to be more booths, more attendees at that show, PBX/MEX, than any combined.
Right.
Huge. Las Vegas at South Point Hotel. Not much else to say.
Yeah. A good time of year to do it.
Sure.
February.
Midwest DJs Live. I'll be there.
You will.
I will be there this
Are you
year.
speaking?
No speaking. Just taking the Bun Gear Command Center and whatever else we're selling at that time.
Great.
And showing that stuff off a little bit and just hanging out. It's been a few years since I've been.
Where
I love
is it?
that show. Milwaukee.
Milwaukee, that's right.
Yeah. And that's February. No, I'm sorry, that's April. So it's starting to warm up there then, thank God. I'm not a cold fan.
And you've been before, right?
I have a few times.
Yeah, I spoke there once. I performed one time. It's a good show. I mean, it's a boutique.
They do an awesome job, man.
Which is great. They are, I think, the only show that's a nonprofit.
501c or whatever it is. Yeah.
So all those people are just giving their time. That's
Nate now is on like the nightlife committee. He's bringing in some big dogs. Mitch, of course.
They're very good about making sure the speakers are as top notch as they can do. And I'm always been impressed with the way that they've carried
I'm excited.
themselves.
Yeah, it's been a few years. You want to talk about Marquee?
That's in Chicago.
Or ish.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, it's on the outskirts.
There we
go. It's gotten bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
I feel like the quality keeps getting better
Yeah.
every time that they do it. And I think it's just the nature of the beast. The more you do it, they have grown their show floor. I wasn't there last year, but the year before I was. And
bigger than the year before that.
They're operating it differently too, in the sense that they have multiple things happening at the same time.
Right,
So it's not like just one speaking session where everybody goes to. You can pick your tracks if you want in certain ways. So that's in June, the only one in the summer.
Pretty much.
Till the
that
end
we
of
know of. Then DJX, DJ Expo, August 11th through the 14th, Atlantic City, New Jersey. We kind of touched on that. And then
Wedding NBA.
I guess if somebody wanted an opportunity, if you want to slide another one in September, October, but all the DJs are so busy, it would be suicide.
Right. Yeah.
What about Wedding NBA? I hadn't been in a long time.
I used to perform.
Yeah, you used to rip it pretty hard. You and Jana.
Yeah, and then we both spoke at it before. It's a good show. I mean, if you're looking to get to know other categories.
Yeah.
It's probably the better one. I feel like the DJ sector of it is growing.
Oh, I was about to say the same thing. I feel like they put a lot more attention now on the DJ sector.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been asked to speak there in a decade probably, but I think I tanked it the first time. And so,
yeah.
So I don't think I was asked back.
Right. But Las Vegas, that time of year is good to go.
Yeah.
It's
great point. Solid point. And then this just happened. Harvest of Sound was a few days ago.
That's the second year or third year? I think it's third year.
Third or fourth.
Okay.
Third or fourth.
Yeah, I feel like they're
Boston
in December. That's a tough sell.
It's tough, bro.
But hey, I mean, they're doing Pittsburgh in January is also a tough sell. The fact that these guys and ladies who are putting this stuff on are making an effort to do it. In a challenging season and a challenging location, I would think.
Yeah.
For people to get to is kudos to them because they see the value in it too. And I heard good things about Harvest this year. Yeah. They do the speaker shootout.
Yeah.
That's one thing I know for sure. I've never been to it. Have you been to it?
I have. Yeah.
Okay.
Once or twice. The speaker shootout this year, I think they hid the speakers. Because people are so brand religious,
biased.
And a brand biased, that they hid them and they played.
That's cool, actually.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of cool too. I saw some pictures. Ben Stowe kind of leads that. He's the sound guru, and he was so he put them behind kind of like a sheer fabric or whatever, and then would play him, and then people were like, "Oh, that's the
gotta be this."
blah.
Yeah,
exposed it or whatever afterwards. So.
Wow.
But yeah, they did a good job as well. Again, smaller show, but all these are definitely worth attending, Billy. I mean, it's a great question. I'm sure we left some out. Apologies to anybody we left out.
Put them in the comments.
Yeah, put them in the comments, please. Throw the date, throw the link. We're happy to promote it, or we'll talk about it on a future episode.
Yeah,
for sure.
Recaps or whatever.
Anything else to wrap this one up?
I don't think so. I think education's important. Let's just end it with that, right? Like I feel that's so underrated in our business.
It is.
And these little networking opportunities and learning sessions, just to get away from your office for a hot minute.
And be around like-minded professionals that are trying to do the same thing that you're doing, and more importantly, are probably not in your area, is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Some of my best friends that I would like, if I got married again, which I'm not, I would invite to my wedding. I have met at these things.
Yeah.
No shit. I would definitely say that the majority of my adult friends have come from these meetups, these conferences.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So good.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it.
All right. Thanks everybody for listening to Beyond the DJ Booth podcast. Again, I'm Joe Bunn. That is my guy, Brian B. And we'll be back next week. Brand new episode. See ya.